So if you want a coaching session to be really good and be able to set that up and kind of game the system so that it is good, I think there's two things that I would have you look at. The first one is the coaching request. A lot of coach trainings don't focus enough on the coaching request, and it's not their fault. The coaching request really takes time to learn. And no matter how much you've practiced it, it's always good to come back, because when you've established a good request, that is number one, like such a good rule of thumb to set it up for success, having that request. If you can't get a clear request out of your client, that's a good sign that you haven't educated your client enough about what coaching is and how it works. Inside of the request, there's a couple of things that are really important. The first one is pretty quickly into the session, maybe you do a check-in, you catch up, and unless they're super dysregulated and need you to regulate them, you're always going to start with like, okay, what would you like to work on? And from that place, you just start to like refine it. What would you like to work on? What would it look like if we succeeded, if you got exactly what you wanted, but fleshing it out more? Right? As you ask the client, what's important to you? That way we know that as we're honing in, it's not like something to the left of what's important to them. It's actually the thing that's important to them. As coaches, we need to be having what for clients are the most important conversations of their life. And if you don't ask people what's important about this to you, you won't know. And again, the kind of last piece is, how will we know that we've achieved this? Or how will you know that you've achieved this in your life? Like, what would be tangible markers? And once you've set that up, then it's really important to follow that thread. I've, listened to students coaching calls where they set up beautiful requests and then they go somewhere totally different. But you also, as soon as you've outlined it, you're holding it, you're coming back to it. So that's the first rule of thumb for ensuring that you have a good coaching session. The second one is attending to your attentional posture to really ensure and track, like, can I make sure that I'm having good coaching sessions? Attentional posture is essentially like the shape of your attention. When you're with your client, what are you paying attention to? Because there are some things that people pay attention to that aren't useful to the client, like what happened, as an example, like the past. And there are things that are useful to pay attention to, like their way of being, the way they're saying their words, what's important to them, their desires. And if you want to learn more about attentional posture, I did a whole in-depth video that you can check out in the description below. And if you like this video and you want more coach education, go ahead and click like and subscribe to stay tuned.